Enterprise has fully been removed, a new Retro Squad ride's on its way, a huge amount of work is happening over at Curse at Alton Manor, Nemesis has been fully removed, plus so many other updates to cover from the UK's biggest theme park, Alton Towers. So join me as we cover all of the most recent and exciting updates from Alton Towers Resort. So the first update of many is that Enterprise has been fully removed from Alton Towers Resort. Now, this comes as no surprise as last year Enterprise wasn't operating for the whole season, and Alton Towers did come out on Twitter to confirm that Enterprise wouldn't be returning to the resort. And then in the close season, we got a little bit of hope because we saw these images of Enterprise being built back up in its spot, and you know, it was looking like it was going to open this year. But now it's been fully taken out. The ground has actually been filled with gravel, so we're probably looking at concrete or tarmac going over this. And yeah, there's another permanent flat ride gone at Alton Towers. And there's not many, is there? And we'll come on to that a little bit later when we talk about the Retro Squad. The only real permanent thrill flat ride at Alton Towers now is the Blade, which is very concerning to me. When we're seeing the Retro Squad come back in 2023, we'll come on to that a bit later. But it really shows that Alton Towers do need some permanent flat rides. And it's sad to see Enterprise go. You know, it's one of the oldest rides at Alton Towers. And yes, it was looking tired and old, but I think if they put the money into it, it could have stayed at Alton Towers. But hopefully, this space isn't just going to be grass or gravel. Hopefully, in the future, they put some sort of permanent flat ride on there. But for now, Enterprise has gone. We're probably not going to be seeing anything go on this spot this year. Now, if you're wondering why Alton Towers built up Enterprise in order just to take it down again, then my little theory behind it is they built it up in order to take photos of the ride so that they can sell it. Or the other option is that Enterprise is going to be used for spare parts for a similar ride over at Thorpe Park Resort. I don't think we're going to just see this ride being scrapped, because even though it's not in the best condition, you know, it's still a workable ride, and Merlin can definitely make some money off of it, or use it for spare parts over at Thorpe Park Resort. But one thing we do know is that it's not going to be returning to Alton Towers Resort, or anytime soon anyway. Now, the next update is the Retro Squad. Now, essentially, the Retro Squad is a bunch of funfair rides that Alton Towers brought to the resort in 2021 in order to help with capacity. And ever since then, they've stayed at the resort. In 2021, we had Mixtape, Roller Disco, and Funkenfly. In 2022, we had Funkenfly, Roller Disco, and also Spin Jam. And in 2023, a new kid will be joining the block. Now, Roller Disco, the Waltzers ride, which has been there for 2 seasons now, that's been removed from Alton Towers Resort. I think it's currently in a fun fair over at Wakefield, but we know that's not in Alton Towers Resort at the minute. So, what will be replacing the Waltzers in the Roller Disco lineup? We know that Retro Squad will be staying this year, so we're still going to have Funkenfly and Spin Jam. But what's going to be the new ride on the block? Well, rumours have been going around that the new ride joining Retro Squad in 2023 will be Starfighter. Now, this is an interesting one, this funfair ride, because it doesn't look too thrilling, but it also isn't a family ride, so I think it sits perfectly in the middle, and it'll be a pretty perfect replacement for Roller Disco, the Waltzers ride. But here we are once again, 3 seasons in, and we're still having funfair rides at Alton Towers. Now, the first year I was alright with it. It was 2021, we just come out of the COVID pandemic, and you could see why Alton Towers wanted to do this. They wanted to have more capacity. In 2022, you know, 2 years of the Retro Squad, it was alright, and now we're in 2023 where we're still getting funfair rides at Alton Towers. To me, that's pretty crazy, because Alton Towers is a theme park. They've got rid of Enterprise this year, as discussed previously. And I think this is only telling them more that they need some permanent flat rides. So how do we know that this may be the new Retro Squad ride? Well, it's not confirmed or anything. These are just rumours, but I tell you what, they're looking pretty certain, because the showman who owns the Starfighter ride has said that it will be going to a UK theme park. And comments have only been reinforcing this, saying that it will be going to Alton Towers Resort. So I think this is going to be the replacement for Roller Disco. It's not confirmed or anything, but it is looking very likely. And as I said earlier, it's not the best having funfair rides at Alton Towers, but you know what? It's nice to see that they're changing it up a bit. But come on, Alton Towers, we're going to need some permanent flat rides one day. Moving on to another new addition then for 2023, and that is the Curse at Alton Manor. Now, this has been a little bit of a tricky one, because we haven't been able to get many updates from this dark ride, because, well, as the name suggests, it's a dark ride, it's inside, we can't exactly go in and take photos. But today I have got an interesting outside update for you, and where, as you can see in this picture, the outside, the facade of the Curse at Alton Manor has actually been painted up. Of course, it was previously dual, had a bit of a lighter theme. It wasn't really a scary ghost train, it was more of an interactive dark ride. But now, looking from the outside of this, we can already see that this is going to be a darker theme, as we saw a few weeks ago with the promotional image. It did look darker. Emily Alton's made a return. So yeah, as you can see with this darker grey colour that Alton Towers have used, it's looking darker, it's looking scarier, and I love the new outside. It looks amazing. In addition to this, the classic crypt that the Jewel Zombie used to be in has been fully removed. Now, I'll tell you what, this is exciting because it shows that Alton Towers are going big on this project. They're not scared to rip things back. And let's be honest, Jewel / the Haunted House really did need it. I can't wait to see on the 18th of March when this attraction is set to open, see what they've done on the inside of this, because if they've made as many changes as they have on the outside, then it's going to be an amazing ride. I can't wait for it. John Wardley's working on it. The two Johns are working on it. So it's going to be a fantastic ride, and hopefully it lives up to the expectations because I'm very excited for it. And that's really it from the updates of Cursed at the Alton Manor. But I tell you what, Alton Towers and Merlin have been really hyping this dark ride up. So hopefully it's as good as they say it is, because if it is, it's going to be amazing. Curse of the Alton Manor is set to open on the 18th of March alongside Alton Towers Resort. But I tell you what, the next update is very exciting, and it's all to do with Nemesis Subterra and Nemesis. As you all probably know by now, Nemesis is having a huge retrack and a huge overhaul, and it's set to open in 2024. Now, at the time of recording, all of the track for Nemesis has been removed apart from the parts that are meant to be staying, such as the lift hill, the station, and the final brake run. But apart from that, all of the supports, well, most of them anyway, and all of the track has gone. I tell you what, it's a sight to see that area without the Nemesis track. It's crazy. Now, I don't know when the new Nemesis track is going to be arriving, but of course, before all of that, they've got to do the foundations and all of that work. So that's a little update on Nemesis. Not really much to cover. But in this next update, we've got a little bit more to cover, and that is that the name Nemesis Reborn has been trademarked by Alton Towers Resort and Merlin. Now, enthusiasts have been saying, okay, this is the name for Nemesis in 2024. Of course, which it could be. Maybe it's most likely to be, but I think we've got to look at this in a little bit more detail. Now, I feel like a lot of people have forgot the works that were going on at Nemesis Subterra last season. There was so much work going on. They ripped off all the queue line. The inside, there was a lot going on. Potentially, they ripped up the queue line to replace it all. And the rumor was going that Nemesis Subterra would be returning for 2023, which is this season. Now, could it be returning with the name Nemesis Subterra? Maybe, maybe not. But this new name, Nemesis Reborn, which has just been trademarked by Alton Towers, could this be the new name of Nemesis Subterra? Maybe it's a bit crazy, maybe it's not. But you got to think widely with these sort of things, because nothing's been confirmed yet. Are we going to see Nemesis Subterra return this season? I'm not too sure. Alton Towers really haven't said anything. Could it be returning for summer of this year? I'm not too sure. But with this trademark name, Nemesis Reborn, you never know. This could be the new name for Nemesis Subterra or Alton Towers. You know, maybe you think I'm crazy, but you know what? It could be something that's coming to Alton Towers, or it could just be the new name for Nemesis in 2024. You never know. But there you go. There's a little suggestion. Now, the next update is very exciting, which is planning to be coming into Alton Towers in 2025. And that exciting update is all around Project Horizon, the new indoor attraction at Alton Towers Resort, of course codenamed Project Horizon, and it's actually been approved by Staffordshire Moorlands District Council's Planning Applications Committee. Now that was a wordful. Of course, it's planned to be coming to Alton Towers in 2025. The building is approximately 71 meters in length, 46 meters in width, and 19.4 meters in height, and to be constructed in the former Coaster Corner area. And that's just to the back of David Walliams' world and to the side of the dungeons. Now, I've got a whole dedicated video about me talking about Project Horizon and what I think could be coming into this huge show building. It's absolutely huge. It's crazy. So go and check out that video if you do want my in-detail thoughts. I'll go over it briefly on what I want it to be. Now, of course, I want it to be a roller coaster. Now, a lot of enthusiasts have been saying it's Secret Weapon 9, which is the code name for all the big roller coasters at Alton Towers Resort. Do I think it's going to be Secret Weapon 9? I think that's a bit of a stretch because Alton Towers only do that on their big major new roller coasters. For example, Spinball Wizard wasn't a secret weapon, or Rita wasn't a secret weapon. So I don't think this is going to be a secret weapon. I think it's going to be sort of sideline to that. But I still think it's going to be an amazing, unique attraction. If it is really unique, something we've never seen before, then potentially it could fall into that secret weapon category. But what I'm hoping it's going to be, either a Vekoma spinning indoor coaster would be pretty cool in here. The New Generations, Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind over at Disney's Epcot was pretty cool. Tron at Disney World, Disney Magic Kingdom, I think it is. And that's an amazing coaster. Could we see that being inside of Alton Towers Resort? But Intamin and Mack do some awesome indoor coasters as well. So I think those are two good manufacturers to go with. Zamperla also do a few. Zamperla isn't a particular manufacturer that I'd go with for this. I'd either think it'd be Mack, Intamin, or Vekoma. Those are the main ones that I'd like to see. They all do some brilliant indoor roller coasters. And do you know what? Mack is a pretty good option, because over at Thorpe Park, it's just been announced that their new tallest roller coaster will be manufactured by Mack. So Merlin could have secured a deal with Mack to do 2 Mack roller coasters at their parks. You never know. But do check out my dedicated video on Project Horizon, because I discuss all my thoughts in that video. So go and check it out. And there we go, that's all of the most recent Alton Towers updates. Now I thought this year, instead of doing short videos, I'd do one big long video covering all of the updates. And I'll tell you what, it's looking to be a pretty good season at Alton Towers. Some decisions are good, like the refurbishment of Jewel, the Nemesis retrack, Project Horizon, and some bad, like the Retro Squad. But we won't talk about that too much. Overall, it's looking to be a brilliant season at Alton Towers. Of course, the park opens on the 18th of March, just under a month away now. It's gone so quick, I tell you that. But unfortunately, if you do want to go on opening day, Merlin season pass holders have ran out. So I'm not too sure about main tickets. Do check out the official Alton Towers website for all of the most recent up-to-date information on tickets. But with all that said, if you did enjoy the video, do consider subscribing, as I make theme park content every week for you to enjoy. And with all that said and done, I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.